Project 2025, I've said 100 times, I know nothing about it. I had nothing to do.
I think I want this video to serve as a reminder of a few different things. One, Donald Trump cannot be trusted. Everything he says is a lie. Virtually everything that comes out of his mouth or from his thumbs on Truth Social is a lie. Number one. Two, commentators and media analysis types, the analysts and the talking heads and the pundits, the people like Norah O'Donnell and Ana Kasparian, people who got it so wrong, they're not to be trusted. Okay? Donald Trump just posted yesterday on Truth Social, yesterday morning, I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, I don't know what a Democrat agency is, but which of the Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again, President DJT. Remember, of course, you've heard about Project 2025. There's a website that is tracking the progress of Project 2025. We are currently sitting at about 48% complete. Donald Trump's only been in office for, 10 months, 9 months, 9 months and change, and nearly 50% of Project 2025 has been accomplished. Now, Donald Trump disavowed Project 2025, disavowed, really heavy air quotes here. He said in July 5th, 2024, I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them. This, when he said it, was a lie. It's a lie now, it was a lie then, and it was clearly a lie. Anybody who understands the lay of the land, you don't have to be a political commentator on YouTube to do so. You out there in the audience knew this was a lie when you read it. When anybody who's paid attention at all to Donald Trump, with even a cursory understanding of politics, knew this was a lie. 6 days later, he said this on Truth Social. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have not seen it. I have no idea who is in charge of it. And unlike our very well-received Republican platform, had nothing to do with it. The radical left Democrats are having a field day, however, trying to hook me into whatever policies are stated or said. It's pure disinformation on their part. By now, after all these years, everyone knows where I stand on everything, DJT. Indeed, we do. That's why we knew it was a lie when you said you didn't know anything about Project 2025. And now we're learning that that was a lie, because what is it? Who is he? Russell Vought, he of Project 2025 fame. And here we are, almost 50% of it completed. There's one more that I want to share with you before we get into discrediting people who should never have had credibility in the first place. People who are liars or grifters or just not smart enough to do this work. Lying again about Project 2025, Donald Trump said on August 22nd, which she knows, and so do all Democrats, that I have absolutely nothing to do with. Interesting. CNN just maybe hours ago put out this little mashup of Donald Trump denying Project 2025. Then we'll get to Ana Kasparian and Norah O'Donnell and CNN and Politico. And there are many, many others who dropped the ball, who shit the bed, who did not do their job, and they should not be trusted again. First, the mashup.
Speaking of Trump, he said this morning that I have a meeting today with Russ Vought of Project 2025 fame. Of course, that was the project that Democrats demonized, went after hard in the campaign, saying, look at this, and they tried to campaign very hard on it. And then Donald Trump, when he was running for the second term, said, well, this Project 2025 thing, I don't really know much about it.
Some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. They are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. Project 2025, I've said 100 times, I know nothing about it. I had nothing to do.
And today, meeting of Russ Vought of Project 2025 fame.
Fame. You know, I mean, I think it's another example of voters having to be sober-minded about the choice that was made in November 2020 and the effects of that choice. Elections have consequences. Even if they didn't believe or they chose to believe what President Trump said, the writing was on the wall that Project 2025 was really going to guide and shape this administration, and we're seeing that. The question now is, how will voters respond in the midterms and then moving forward?
Yeah, one thing is
Right. Self-evident. Very obvious. Everybody knew. You know when you get off a plane and the pilot gets on, he's like,
Look, we know you have a choice when you fly. We just want to thank you for choosing.
name your airline here, right? It's the same thing with what we do here, the people in my cohort. I know you have a choice when you click on a video to hear about analysis or opinion from somebody, some dipshit like me. You have a choice, and I'm thankful. Like the airline pilot, I'm thankful you chose me, and I try to be reliable. I say what I believe, despite the consequences, the demonetization or people trying to attack me, my life being threatened, my life's her life, she was threatened to be raped and murdered by a Trump supporter. We know the lay of the land, but I thank you for being here. And I do try to be reliable. I try to be accurate. In fact, sometimes I go a little overboard, maybe patting myself on the back or tooting my own horn about the things that I got right in advance of the thing happening. But some of this stuff is easy. You don't need me to tell you that Donald Trump was up to his neck into Project 2025 despite his denials. You didn't need me for that. So when someone like Ana Kasparian from the Young Turks was out there carrying water for Donald Trump, carrying water to advance the agenda of Donald Trump by backing up his lies, his obvious lies that he was not involved in Project 2025, she should be somebody who's on your persona non grata list. She should be on your white list of individuals never to be taken seriously again. Remember this moment of her denying the very reality that the rest of us existed in.
So both Politico and the New York Times are now reporting that Donald Trump is unlikely to implement Project 2025 as the blueprint for his second term, for his administration. And he is instead opting to work with a completely different right-wing think tank called the America First Policy Institute. Now, the Heritage Foundation penned the 900 pages of that policy book for Project 2025. They penned it before Trump was even the nominee for the Republican Party. And all of the reporting around that I had debunked, but people didn't believe me. Now that the election's over, it looks like the media is willing to admit, yeah, it looks like Trump's not going to do Project 2025.
Obvious to the rest of us was not obvious to Ana Kasparian. Obvious to the rest of us was not obvious to Norah O'Donnell.
He has been consistent, and again, Google Project 2025, about what he thinks about Social Security and why he thinks it is nothing that should be supported, what his intentions to cut Medicare and Medicare benefits, his intention, look again at Project 2025, to repeal the $35 a month cap on insulin that we have put in place.
You know that Donald Trump has disavowed Project 2025. He says that is not his campaign plan.
As you know, I am a former prosecutor. His DNA is all over it. All over it. His running mate wrote forward to the book of the author of Project 2025. I believe Donald Trump's name appears at least 300 times in Project 2025, and it is a blueprint, a detailed blueprint that is about the danger and the detail of what Donald Trump and his allies plan if he is in the White House again.
obvious to the rest of us, apparently not obvious, even to CNN, who I just played their mashup from the other day or hours ago. And they had a fact check written by Daniel Dale, who's typically pretty reliable. This was the headline there. Fact check. Harris campaign social media account has repeatedly deceived with misleading edits and captions. Is that right, Daniel Dale? What'd you have to say about the Project 2025 thing? The at Kamala HQ account frequently invokes Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation's think tank's right-wing policy proposals for the next Republican administration. Project 2025 is not Trump's initiative, and he has said he disagrees with some of its proposals, wrote Daniel Dale. How about this one from Politico? Trump team preps list of banned staffers. The names include conservatives linked to Project 2025 and Republicans viewed as disloyal to the former president. And then inside the article, former President Donald Trump's transition operation is compiling lists of names of people to keep out of a second Trump administration. The lists of undesirable staffers include people linked to Project 2025 policy blueprint. Is that right? Interesting how Russell Vought, one of the authors of Project 2025, is the head of the Office of Budget Management and Budget, OMB. Interesting, huh? Interesting how the administration is top to bottom replete with Project 2025 Heritage Foundation ghouls. Weird. Weird, Politico. Weird, CNN. Weird, Norah O'Donnell. Weird. Progressive, Ana Kasparian. Why does the media insist on carrying water for Donald Trump? Why? Why does even self-proclaimed progressive outlet people like Ana Kasparian continue to do so? It's a rhetorical question, I guess, because I don't know the answer to it, but I would ask you. Why are they laundering Donald Trump's lies? Assisting him in the dissemination of propaganda in order to get elected. They give credibility to Donald Trump's lies. People believed it, and now here we are with Project 2025 nearly 50% completed. Thank you, Ana Kasparian. Thank you for that. I appreciate your acumen, your big political brain, breaking down complex concepts for the rest of us to digest and understand. You're doing a great job, sister. Fantastic. And it's not just people who are commentators. Norah O'Donnell is a journalist, like a straight news person. Same with Daniel Dale, the fact checker. Same with whatever moron wrote the Politico article. We need to do a better job. I'll end here. We need to do a better job of choosing those that we respect, of offering that respect. We need to do a better job of rewarding those who get it right and then jettisoning those who do not, whether that be support, whether that be views, whether that be likes, whether that be just basic online clout, whatever nonsense that is. But I'm very tired of batting cleanup here, trying to cover for the mistakes of people who are loosely in my field, like Norah O'Donnell, who are directly in my cohort, like Ana Kasparian. It's not a hard, of all things to get wrong, when you get the easy shit wrong, it's a real problem. Anyway, I invite you for your opinion here. What do you think? You can comment below this video wherever you're watching it, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. You can call my voicemail line and tell me what you think there. Leave it brief, please. 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Make sure you're subscribed to this program. That is support that I could very much appreciate. It's free to subscribe. Do it on YouTube. Go like and follow the Facebook page, Dollemore Daily. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.